I'll call a regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen to order at 7:30 p.m. The prayer will be offered by City Clerk Patricia Pietzu, and Alderwoman Kelly will lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Almighty God, we have the high honor and serious duty to manage the affairs of our beloved city. Fill us, O God, with a spirit of unity and understanding, which enables us to face our multiple problems with serene mind, with justice and charity for all, so that any and all decisions made by us will always be for the betterment and greater happiness of all our fellow citizens. So help us God. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Wilshire.
Here.
Alderman Gidge.
Here.
Alderman Harriet Gathright.
Here.
Alderman Dowd.
Present.
Alderman Klee.
Here.
Alderman Laws.
Here.
Alderman Lopez.
Here.
Alderman Karen.
Here.
Alderwoman Kelly.
Here.
Alderman Jetty.
Here.
Alderwoman Leezy-Gola.
Present.
Alderman Tenza.
Here.
Alderman Schmidt.
Here.
Alderman O'Brien.
Present.
Alderman McCarthy.
Present.
We have 15 members present.
Also present, Corporation Counsel Stephen Bolton. Mayor is not in attendance, so will not be speaking, and there is therefore no need for a response to the remarks not made by the mayor. Recognition period.
There are none.
Reading the minutes of previous meetings. Alderwoman Wilshire.
Thank you. I move that the minutes of the Board of Aldermen meetings of January 7, 2018 and January 9, 2018 be accepted, placed on file, and the reading suspended.
Motion is that the minutes of the Board of Aldermen meetings of January 7th, 2018 and January 9th, 2018 be accepted, placed on file, and that the readings be suspended. Is there any discussion of that motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Communications, Alderwoman Leezy-Gola.
Yes, I move that all communication be read by title only.
Motion is that communications be read by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Communication from Anita Arden Kayla relative to the studying the feasibility of offshore wind in New Hampshire.
Alderwoman Leezy-Gola.
Yes, I move to accept, place on file, and refer the communication to the Planning and Economic Development Committee and the Environment and Energy Committee.
Motion is to accept the communication, to place it on file, and refer it to the Planning and Economic Development Committee and the Environment and Energy Committee. Is there any discussion of that motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Communication from Robert W. Rooks, P.E., Wilcox & Barton, Inc., relative to the Notice of Filing Type 1B, Modification to Solid Waste Management Facility Permit, Temporary Permit DES SW TP 95-004, Webster Square Guitar Center.
Alderwoman Wilshire.
Thank you. I move to accept and place on file.
Motion is to accept and to place on file. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Communication from Mayor Jim Dongens relative to a contract for lead paint inspection, risk assessment, and clearance services.
Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to make a motion to accept and place on file and award a multi-year contract to Alchemy Lead Management in the amount not to exceed $150,000.
Motion is to accept the communication, place it on file, and award the multi-year contract to Alchemy Lead Management in an amount not to exceed $150,000. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Period for public comment relative to items expected to be acted upon this evening. No one has signed up. Petitions,
There are none.
nominations, appointments, and elections.
There are none.
Reports of committees. If there are no objections, I will declare the report of the January 17th, 2018 Finance Committee accepted and placed on file. If there are no objections, I will declare the report of the January 16th, 2018 Planning and Economic Development Committee accepted and placed on file. Written reports from liaisons.
There are none.
Confirmation of the mayor's appointments.
There are none.
Unfinished business resolutions.
There are none.
Unfinished business ordinances.
There are none.
New business Resolutions.
First reading of Resolution 18-004, declaring a municipal special election to fill a vacancy on the Board of Education on March 20, 2018, establishing the time period for filing nomination petitions, establishing polling times, and issuing precepts to the selectmen of the city wards.
Alderwoman Karen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion that the rules be so far suspended as to allow for a second reading of R-18-004.
Motion is that the rules be so far suspended as to allow for second reading of R-18-004. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Second reading of Resolution 18-004, declaring a municipal special election to fill a vacancy on the Board of Education on March 20, 2018, establishing the time period for filing nomination petitions, establishing polling times, and issuing precepts to the selectmen of the city wards.
Alderwoman Karen.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion for final passage of R-18-004.
Motion is for final passage of R-18-004. Is there any discussion of that motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and R-18-004 is adopted.
First reading of Resolution 18-005, relative to the transfer of $13,710 from general contingency into the accounts in the city clerk's department for costs related to the special municipal election.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that the rules be so far suspended as to allow for a second reading of R-18-005.
Motion is that the rules be so far suspended as to allow for the second reading of R-18-005. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Second reading of Resolution 18-005, relative to the transfer of $13,710 from general contingency into two accounts in the city clerk department for costs related to the special municipal election.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for final passage of R-18-005.
Motion is for final passage of R-18-005. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Oh, Alderwoman Wilshire.
Thank you. I just had a question about the total cost. Is that just a partial cost? Maybe the city clerk can answer that question.
Yes, it is. The total cost was the as it stated in the previous resolution, $30,410. $16,000 of that will be absorbed within my budget due to vacancies within the office.
Thank you very much.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and R-18-005 is adopted.
First reading of Resolution 18-006, authorizing Pennachuck Corporation and Pennachuck East Utility, Inc. to enter into a long-term loan and fixed asset line of credit with CoBank and to refinance intercompany loans.
Any additional sponsors? R-18-006 will be Alderman Dowd and Alderman O'Brien. And R-18-006 will be assigned to the Pennachuck Water Special Committee. New business ordinances.
There are none.
Period for general public comment. One person has signed up. Michael Marcotte.
I come here tonight to talk to you about a horrible experience I had with your police department. And before you roll your eyes and try to make excuses like if you obey orders, nothing will happen. I promised I did, and Officer Master Cody testified to that fact. I find Officer Cody and Sergeant John of the Records Department to have no honor. It all started late December 2016. I was on the bench with the Glazers Union. I had some problems with transportation.
Mr. Marcotte, can you tip the microphone towards you a little bit? Thank you.
I was having problem. The tire fell off as soon as I got it home. I could not get it into my driveway, so I parked it on the side of the road. I figured a $25 ticket, worst case scenario, of tow. Saturday night went well. I didn't get a ticket. Sunday night was a whole different outcome. Around 2 a.m., I was awakened to aggressive knocking. Officer Cody was screaming and sounded like he was going to break down my door. I answered and was told that my tire was in the middle of the road and I needed to move it. 3 police cars were out front. You telling me they couldn't move the tire and be done with it? We are in the middle of an opiate crisis and we need 3 cruisers for a tire? He continued to scream at me all the way down the stairs. I kept my mouth shut until I got into the driveway where he kept it up. The neighbor's lights started to come on. I told him to, I don't want to use that word. He immediately arrested me and hurt my shoulder. He then proceeded to bang on all my neighbors' doors, screaming the same word. Did you hear him say that word? Did you hear him say that word? So my arraignment was a month later. I was getting offers from Portland, Oregon for work. At my arraignment, I wanted a speedy trial because I was right, and I stupidly let Judge Moore talk me into a probable cause hearing. It was baloney. He banged his gavel and gave a date for the trial. I'd like to add that prosecution didn't bring one shred of evidence. Trial came where the cops fought so hard to hide a tape supposedly showing me acting up in jail. Now, in a trial where I'm accused of disorderly conduct, why not show a tape of me being disorderly? Because it's not true. And the Sergeant John of the Records Department knew that. That means they committed 2 felonies to convict me of a misdemeanor, and they still lost. That level of incompetence should be at least brought into question. I am now forced, regrettably, to bring suit of the good people of Nashua. I really don't know what I'm doing. I really don't care to write all the bull crap I have to write. I don't want to waste taxpayer money. This suit is the only recourse to take down a bad cop. You all have a wonderful night.
Remarks by members of the Board of Aldermen? Anybody? Alderwoman Mozigolia?
Yes, thank you. This evening, I placed on everyone's desk a copy of the Nashua Firefighters Local 789 2017 yearbook. It's something that the firefighters hand out every year at their annual gala, so I know some of you have seen this before, but I thought for all of us it would be a nice reference in terms of who's at the stations and what's happening at each station, as well as some information about administration and projects that they're moving forward with. So again, just something for your information to see all of the many things our firefighters are doing in our community. My other comment is just in reference to the death of Ed Stebbins. Some of you know Ed. He was very active both politically as well as in community projects and with the Salvation Army, and he died a week ago. The memorial service for him is going to be next Monday at the Salvation Army Chapel at 7 p.m., so it will be Monday the 29th. But condolences to his friends and his family, and he will be missed. Thank you.
Any additional remarks? Alderman Lopez.
I just wanted to remind the public that tomorrow is Homeless Connect at 45 High Street from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you know anybody who's homeless or at risk of being homeless, it's an opportunity to meet all of the organizations in Nashua that are working to end that situation and can offer resources. So there's a lot of days where people who are homeless have to go on a large citywide scavenger hunt. This is a day where they can meet everybody in the same room and see all the people that they're hopefully trying to reach over the phone or might have an appointment with. Again, that's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's also the day that we do the point in time count, which is our annual coordinated effort to count exactly how many people are homeless and in need in the city. A lot of decision-making and understanding that we have of the situation of homelessness happens on this day. So I would invite anybody who knows somebody who's homeless and maybe staying on a couch or sleeping in their car or crashing in a spare room or something, some kind of impermanent situation, to step forward tomorrow just so that we can gauge the scope of the problem and better understand it as a city.
Any other remarks? Committee announcements? Alderwoman Wilshire.
Thank you. Pennachuck's Water Special Committee will be meeting in these chambers on Monday, January 29th at 7 p.m.
Alderwoman Mozigolia.
Yes. PEDC will be meeting in the chamber Tuesday, February 5th, 7 p.m.
Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you. The Committee on Infrastructure will meet tomorrow night, Wednesday, January 24th at 7 p.m. in the chamber.
Alderwoman Karen.
Yes, personnel will be meeting Monday, February 5th at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
So
what
I
did
think,
I say? 5th, 6th. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
thank you.
Any other announcements? Is there a motion? Alderwoman Mozigolia.
Yes, Alderman McCarthy, I had asked you, and I don't know if we have clarification, For the renumbering, street renumbering agenda item at infrastructure, do we need to have a quorum there, or it's not necessary since the public hearing has already taken
I
place?
think it's only necessary for us to have a quorum of the committee,
Okay,
because that would
not a
be,
quorum of the board.
right. Attorney
thank
Bolton
you.
can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman Wilshire.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.